Hey there and welcome back to Storytime. So in this week's episode we are going to talk about the little job I had in the past, and it's going to be a little bit shorter episode than usual, so maybe 5 to 6 minutes, I don't know. But yeah, so this job I was maybe about 20, 21 I think, I can't remember right now, but I was a little bit younger. So, and I was working for the government. So, oh my god, this job was just hilarious. So you might probably not know, but in Germany, if you are working for the government, if you have a government job, I think they are called bureaucrats or just government officials. I don't know how they are called. So yeah, if you are working for the government, you cannot be fired. It's impossible to get fired because these people are protected by the law. So this has to do with some historical event that happened about 150 years ago. So yeah. So we have this law, you can't be fired as a government official. So this means that in Germany, government officials don't do anything at all. They are so lazy, it's ridiculous. You know, they can't get fired, so they don't have to do anything at all. So if you go there with some documents that you have to get signed or something like that, it could take them 6 weeks. It's ridiculous, you know? If they don't do anything really bad, like, I don't know, rape or murder or something like that, they can't get fired. So they're doing nothing. So okay, I got that job, and I was working there as a system administrator, so I was just, you know, checking on the computers and get the software up to date and letting the servers run smoothly and stuff like that, you know. So I was actually, you know, appointed to be at work at 8 o'clock in the morning. So the first time I got there, 8 o'clock, I was standing there and the doors were closed. And I was like, what? Okay. So I waited, and half an hour later someone came, opened the door so I could get in. I didn't get a key, but yeah. So yeah, I could get in and I wanted to start working, but no one was there. So when my colleague came around, I asked him why didn't anyone show up at 8 o'clock, and he said that everyone starts working at 9 o'clock, maybe 10:30 I think it's called, so 9:30 or something like that. You know, no one comes around at the actual time they should start to work. They are coming in 1 or 2 hours late, they are, you know, going on Facebook then, or I don't know, doing their stuff on the internet, and maybe start working 2 or 3 hours later. So that's just the normal thing to do. And if they have worked for maybe 1 hour, they'll take their lunch break, and after that they will work for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then they'll just head home. It's ridiculous, and they are getting paid for a full 8 hours. It's and yeah. So this job was just so easy to handle. It's ridiculous, you know. I was just sitting around there, and in the second week I just came in at 9 o'clock in the morning. It was totally pointless to come in sooner. And, you know, I didn't have work most of the time to maybe 12 o'clock. So after the lunch break I had a little bit work to do. You know, there was someone was calling me and was saying, okay, I got a little problem with my computer, so I went there. And he said, so my mouse isn't working anymore. So I was looking at the mouse and it had no cable on it anymore. And he said, oh yeah, I cut that cable off because I thought it was a wireless mouse. And I was like, what? Why? And he said, yeah, his son had a wireless mouse and he just thought that every mouse would be wireless. And I was, no. And yeah, so I changed that mouse, and that was all I did on that day. And that happened a lot of times. Sometimes I just got into some kind of office and installed an update for like Microsoft Office, or I don't know, for Windows or something like that. But the funny thing is, you could actually trigger a command on the server that would shut down every computer in the office and would just install the updates and then boot them up again. Ridiculous! It was so easy to do that job, and I got paid a shitload of money. It was ridiculous. It was so awesome to work there. You had nothing to do, the laziest job in the world. And oh my god, I loved that job. But they couldn't, you know, give me a full contract, so I couldn't work there forever. It was just, it was so fun to work there. There was another guy, I was called in there and he said his internet didn't work anymore. So I went there, and when I came there, he had, you know, he had torn the cable out of the wall. The LAN cable, is it called LAN cable? I don't know. the Ethernet cable, yeah, he just took it out of the wall. He ripped it out of the wall for the entire apartment there. Just because he thought there was a problem with the cable. I can't believe, oh my god, that was so stupid. So yeah, it took about 3 weeks to get that fixed. And in that time, no one of those officers showed up because, you know, they hadn't internet, so they couldn't do their work. Seems legit, if you ask me. So, oh my god, I can't believe it. Oh, and the funniest thing was, there was this old lady. She was working there for maybe, I don't know, for 50 years? I don't know. She was very old, and she had a typewriter. You know, she didn't have a computer, she had a typewriter. And her job was to write the, how are they called? These memorials, death notes? I have no idea. So these things in newspapers where, you know, where they announce dead people. I have no idea how they are called. But yeah, she had to write those. And she wrote them on the typewriter, but her typewriter was broken. So they actually said, okay, it's time to get her a computer. So I was going to my, you know, to my boss basically and asking him for a new computer, or for a little money for the computer, and he just said, okay, get her the best computer you can get. And I was wondering why the frick, but okay, I did it anyways. I got her a top-notch, you know, it was just, damn, it was the best computer in the whole office, in this whole government agency thingy. It was just ridiculously good for the time then. And so, and I installed it, and she said, make the icons as big as possible. So, okay, I made the icons, like, as big as maybe a child's head? I don't know. It was just ridiculous how big I had to make those icons. And, oh my god. And of course, she didn't use the computer at all. She didn't use all the resources. It was just so ridiculous to give her that computer. The only thing she did was start up Microsoft Word, and she had those templates and stuff like that for these, you know, dev thingies. So she had those. She opened them. She typed in the name, when the person was born, when he died, and who loved him, you know, all this jazz. And then she printed it out and sent it to the newspaper. And that was it. That was the whole thing she did. She didn't even use internet on that thing. And I think it was the first computer with a gigabit internet. It was so ridiculous. Hey, but if you're talking about icons, there was one other thing, and this episode is getting longer and longer right now. Okay, I'll have to do it 10 minutes. Fuck it. Whatever. So, yeah, there was one other guy. Was it a guy? No, it was a woman. And we told her that she had a major problem with her hard drive, so we had to exchange that thing. And so we decided to exchange the whole computer. So I went there, and she said, oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't make a backup of my data. And I said, you don't have to make a backup of your data. They are stored on the central server, so no mean to do it. And she said, oh, okay, come on, but I will have to make a little backup because I just want all my programs, you know, to be ready once the new computer comes. And she sat down, and she, oh my god, she selected all the icons on the desktop, she copied them, and put them on a floppy disk. It was, what? And I told her, you know, these are just links, you know, it's just a link to the program, it's not the actual program. And she looked at me like a knoll or something like that. I don't know, she just looked at me like a cow in a thunderstorm. It was ridiculous. She didn't understand what I was saying. And I couldn't handle that. It was, I didn't know. And I had this weird colleague. You know, he had this fear, maybe. It wasn't a fear, it was, I don't know how to put that. He was convinced that he was allergic to a certain, you know, to a certain material. I don't know how it's called, but it's the stuff you put into teeth when they have holes. You know, right now or today we are using porcelain, I think it's called, but back then we used something different. I can't remember the name. I think it was something like amalgam, or is it called like that? I don't know. It's a German word for that. It's amalgam or something like that. And yeah, he thought it was poisonous and it was poisoning him. And he was always bitching about that. It was ridiculous, and I always had to calm him down and say, okay, I got ammo again too and everything's fine, and he was like, no, I'm going to die, oh my god. And he was actually suing the government for that. It was ridiculous. But as I said, it was the most fun job I ever had. It was so easy to do that job, and I don't know, it was just fun having that job, and I didn't have to care about anything at all. It was just one of the best jobs I ever had. It was so cool. So yeah, that was it for Storytime this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it, as you probably knew. So yeah, let's see us again next week for Storytime. As I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Leave a rating. Will really help me out. And that was it. I'm iLostLink, signing out.